Well, thanks for tuning into today's video. We're going to have a look at weather for the next sort of 8 to 10 days in today's video, which will be taking us towards around the middle of March, actually. It looks like high pressure is going to be building in. High pressure is on the way. We had a bit of a wobble yesterday with the models perhaps showing more of an unsettled outlook, but we're really back to high pressure dominating today, so we'll have a look at all the charts in a moment. Before I get on with the video, I've got to mention the advertisements. Video ads on my pages at gazweathervids.com. If you press play on the video ad, you'll be supporting gazweathervids.com. Thanks very much for doing that. Got some content ads as well, where you can click through the links to the websites where the articles are being held, and have a read of those articles if it's anything that you're interested in. There's very interesting articles there for you to look at. And when you click through the links and go to read the articles, you support gazweathervids.com. So various ways of getting involved and helping to support the website, and thanks very much for doing that. My eyes are a bit sore today, so I've got the camera turned off, but the microphone is turned on. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So I'm going to start off with the 500 millibar height anomaly flow charts. We've got the ECMWF on the left, the GFS is on the right. 500 millibars is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure, low pressure is developing and being moved around by the jet stream running above. The red colours indicating above average heights, and that extrapolates to high pressure. The blue colours indicating below average heights, and extrapolates to low pressure. And what you also need to know is that these are the means for 8 to 10 days time. As I say, this will be taking us up towards the middle of March. Now, the British Isles is just here, and what we're seeing here is something that we haven't had for a very long time. A very large and intense area of above average height sitting right over top of the country. That is a large area of high pressure at 500 millibars sitting right over the top of the British Isles. On both the ECMWF and the GFS, both models are agreeing that high pressure is firmly taking over the pattern over the next week to 10 days. Be below average heights for low pressure that's been plaguing us all winter is being pushed off up towards Newfoundland and Canada, going up towards Greenland as well. We're firmly under a big area of high pressure, so if that's right, it's going to be turning much drier and potentially also quite warm by day, although by night it could be a little bit on the chilly side. Here's the GFS temperature and precipitation forecast. Temperatures first of all, remember the red line is where we should be at this time of the year. We're around average at the moment, but we're going to go above average over the next few days, and then well, the idea is that we keep it well above average for the next sort of couple of weeks. It looks like we're in for a very mild spell coming up. These are upper air temperatures though, of course, so whilst it could be warm by day, by night it may still be a little bit on the cold side. We may get some frost under those clear skies, but nights are still quite long at this time of the year. But certainly in terms of the upper air temperatures, going well above average for probably around a week to 10 days, maybe longer. And that looks pretty good. In terms of the precipitation anomalies, well, look at this. Precipitation spikes, I should say. Look at this. There's hardly any to be seen from now through to around the 15th of March. So we do get some coming back in the second half of the month, although that's a long way out. It's right at the extended range of the model, so can't take that too seriously. Basically, for the next week to 10 days, we've hardly got any rain to come down across England and Wales, or southeastern England, if this is to be believed. Could always be more unsettled up to the northwest. I think low pressure will still niggle to the north or west of the country, but to the south and the southeast, I think we could be setting up quite an extended sort of dry spell. The temperature anomalies for the next week, which will be taking us from the 4th to the 12th of March, show that we're going to be average to a little bit above average. Not perhaps as warm as you would suspect, looking at those temperature ensembles. And the reason could well be that nights are a little bit chillier, so that's just offsetting things a little bit. Warm by day, chilly by night, but nevertheless, still average to slightly above average in terms of those temperature anomalies in the next week. Rainfall anomalies show that we're going to be much drier than average from the 4th to the 12th of March in those red colours just about across the whole of the country. Oh, I say a little bit more unsettled up to the northwest. There it's near a normal rainfall for northwest Scotland, southwest Scotland, northwestern England, but the rest of the country in those red, having those red anomalies indicating rainfall coming out well below the seasonal average. So here's the GFS chart for next Monday, showing high pressure building in very nicely there across the country. I think we'll have a little bit of a complication over the weekend. Dry on Saturday, but probably bringing a weather system through on Sunday, which probably affects the north and west more than the south and the southeast. But by the time we get through to Monday, the idea is that high pressure firmly taking control of the pattern at 1,030 millibars, a big area of high pressure. And then that sort of stays with us then as we move through the rest of next week, really dominating the weather. Lovely area of high pressure up to 1,040 millibars. We'll keep it dry virtually throughout the whole of next week, away from the far north and northwest perhaps. And pretty warm by day. Could be seeing temperatures up to 14, 15, 16 degrees. That is very spring-like. Cooler by night, could be some ground frost, but overall looking very good. The ECMWF also agreeing with all of this. Here is the chart for next weekend, or this weekend, sunny the night, showing that we push a bit of a weather system through. That's a bit of a complication over the weekend, but once we get that out of where we get into next week, the high pressure firmly takes over. By the time we get through to day 10, Thursday the 13th of March, the high pressure is well and truly dominating at 1,030 millibars, keeping it dry, fine, warm by day, really looking very nice indeed. So all the evidence this morning is that high pressure is going to be taking over. So we had a bit of a complication yesterday, a bit of a wobble on this, but we're back on track today. Looks like high pressure is going to be building in firmly through the course of next week, taking over, turning it mainly dry, warm, and very nice indeed. Very pleasant spring-like conditions. If you think that's the end of winter though, here again is the CFS 500 millibar height anomaly for April. Again, this is coming from weatherweb.net. I've been showing you this a lot over the last few weeks. You'll remember that the idea that I'm picking up on for April from the CFS model is for a colder month. We've got high pressure again as an anomaly building over Greenland and Iceland. We've got this low pressure again cut off to the south of the country. Jet stream running around that trough is going to the south. So again, that could be a cold, unsettled signal for April. April could be a cool month potentially on the evidence that I'm seeing from the CFS model at the moment. I have to say, I think we could get some late season frost, maybe even some wintry conditions, some sleet or snow. Can't be ruled out even in April, particularly to the north of the country. So, well, we've got to keep an eye on it. It can't be relied upon, of course. It's experimental. The CFS model is a long-range model, so it can't be relied upon. But this trend is showing up a lot with the CFS model for this cooler or colder April, so we do have to be aware of it. But coming back to the nearer time frame, all the evidence this morning is that high pressure is going to be taking over the pattern through next week, turning it mostly dry away from the far north and northwest, and pretty warm as well. So very good news if you're waiting for some drier spring-like conditions. That's it for now. Thanks for watching the video.